and I noticed it was dark out, and I asked Dave if he wanted me to drive for a little because I knew it was going to be a long drive to where we had to go to. He said no, that he would sleep during the day. And there was a slight reddish glow outside. I didn't really notice. I wasn't really paying too much attention to what outside looked like, but I was aware that it was very dark and there was a reddish glow, almost like if you're driving on a highway somewhere that is like in the middle of nowhere and there's no lights, no street lights, and that kind of darkness in the middle of the night. And then you can see, like, if you would see a glow on the horizon, it was a reddish glow.
It's a light, but it's a color, but it has movement and it dances. Okay, I hope that makes sense.
The place looked like it was in space or something like that.
Okay, I'm just trying not to be terrified. I fear the Lord. As this deep red color shaped like a sphere, but electrical and lit up, it was like the color was a deep red.
As I was being judged, he sent me and all those other people down to a lake of fire, and I saw a bright red orange light. And as we're getting closer to it, there was the lake of fire. It is huge and really wide.
I was standing there and I was looking out, and I could see like it was like a light smoke.
Like I saw it was a cloud around it, and then I was pushed in.
So it wasn't dark, it was like a light, so it was a haze, but it was very light, I could see it. And I thought I was seeing something from a distance.
And up ahead I saw immense fire coming, and I knew that it was God's judgment coming upon the world. Yeah, judgment by fire, and God's anger was coming upon the unrepentant and the wicked of this world.
Is this not the lake of fire? You know, like, is this not the lake of fire? Something like that, you know, like, I was surprised. Wow, this is the lake of fire, right?
What was that? Where was that place? Where was I just at? What was that lava river that I was looking at? I mean, I had an idea, but then he confirmed that idea, and he said repeatedly, Gehenna, Gehenna, Gehenna. So if you don't know what Gehenna is the Greek word for hell.
I saw the lake of fire, the actual lake of fire.
There was the lake of fire. It is huge and really wide. And it looks like it's wide enough for even the earth to be in. Like, even wider than that.
Hell is just miles and miles. It's just endless stretch. A huge lake of fire.
It was like a lake that was made out of fire.
What I saw was not just fire, but a lake. It was like water, not water, but it was in a liquid form. You know, it was burning. It was
like a lake of magma, but it was clear like water, but you could tell it was tormentous.
It was like this lake of fire. Like, it wasn't lava, it was fire, but it was like liquidy fire.
not rushing down, you know, just like a lake, moving slowly and burning with red burning coals.
So I could see that there was lava glowing in between the rocks.
On the inside, in just flowing down and so hot and red. And
at that point, I was able to get a better look at this river that we were on, that was under us, and the lava and the brimstone and everything that we were floating on top of.
Souls kept trying to come to the edge, screaming to stop the burning and stop the pain and torment to get to the edge, and they didn't have enough strength to even pull themselves up. And I began to weep, I began to cry.
There were people jumping up and down, and as they were jumping up and down, they would splash this fire, and it would torment the other person next to them, and then they would jump and it would torment that, because the magma was just splashing everywhere, and there were multitudes of people that I can't even count how many people were in there.
And I seen souls screaming and crying and trying to run to the edge.
And the people were screaming.
The people that I can't even count how many people were in there. And I was crying and weeping for their souls and saying, Father, Father, please take me out of this place. I don't want to see it anymore.
The screams were so terrified, and they were pleading, and they were crying out to God, and they were like, God, save us. God, it hurts. Save us, help us, help us.
And from the screams that I heard and the people crying out for another chance, for hope and for help to stop the burning, and it seemed as if the deeper down they went, the hotter it got, and there was so many souls in this lake of fire that I began to cry and scream in agony and pain. And I said, God, please help me, get me out of this place. God, I don't want to be here, help me. And I began to cry and scream.
And I was screaming in terror and why, Father, this is horrible, get me out of this place, I don't want to see it anymore.
I got to chill. They were crying, they were screaming.
And I looked, and there were people. They were lined up side by side as far as you could see. As far as I could see back, and as far as I could see to the left, and as far as I could see to the right, they were lined up side by side. And they had their hands up.
In the lake of fire, I could feel the flames, and I could see the flames surrounding me. And I can remember stretching my hands up to the sky, asking the Lord to save me.
And their mouths open, they were screaming, but I couldn't hear them. They were screaming in terror, but I couldn't hear them, but I could see them.
As I got in the lake of fire, I felt the burning. I felt the fire on me.
The fire was going up chest high, and their skin was melting. But it didn't come off, it bubbled, their skin bubbled.
It was like the fire melted their skin, and so I was seeing their skin melt, and I was seeing, it was just so, and it was like you could smell just burning, it was just, and you could smell burning flesh, and like with the screams. And
it is dark. It's super dark. You'll be gasping for air. I don't think you're gonna be able to breathe much.
It was so bad, y'all. It was so bad that I would not even wish hell. I would not even wish it on the devil himself.
Each person, great and small, will stand before God. Their words, thoughts, and deeds will be judged. Everyone whose name is not in the book of life will be cast into the lake of fire. There's nothing we can do for them now.
He said, tell my people I want you to warn them that the lake of fire is real and is hungry for disobedient souls.
We're not ready for judgment right now. We're not ready. Like, the world is not ready.
And excuse me, the angel was serious. He said, tell him don't come here. You, excuse me. Okay. You tell him don't come here.